Mm.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Grand Rising. Today is Thursday, July the 10th, and this is Art and Creativity Show with Mama Evelyn Pinkard. And I'm glad it cooled off. My girlfriend Sabre lent me a window air conditioner unit, and it really cools off the living room really nicely.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm so glad of that. Yes. So when it gets hot again, we can be comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I understand that in looking at the weather report that Sunday's, my event,
Uh-huh.
and it's 50% chance of rain.
Okay.
So, well, we'll see when it gets closer, like the day before, but I
Yeah.
think we're just going to plan on the first one being on the inside.
Okay.
And then I think that I'm going to take the two, because I have two tents. And if I
Okay.
put it right outside, when you go out the back door and go up right where that car parks, it's right
Mm-hmm.
to our, and put that up as a covering so that, we can be inside and outside.
Okay.
But yeah, just really, really excited. Are you going to be able to come?
Okay. So that's this Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
13th.
The 13th.
Um, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Yeah. Let me put something real simple together.
Yeah,
Um,
just bringing those that box of stuff that you have,
mm-hmm,
all those pieces, and just keeping it real simple, and talk about your class, and show them what the stick looks like, and show them what the doll looks like, and that they can sign up
mm-hmm,
if they're interested. You don't have a date yet,
mm-hmm,
but um, that you want to at least have 5 people, to sign up, so that if you have a friend, bring your friend.
mm-hmm,
You prefer 10, of course,
mm-hmm,
10.
mm-hmm,
And just say 10. Just shoot for 10.
mm-hmm,
When we telling people
mm-hmm,
we need to have 10 people for a class.
mm-hmm.
And then you decide, what you end up with.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say that you at least need 5 people
Right.
to do your class. And otherwise, when you're doing your general thing, you do it on the second and fourth Sunday. That just gets you known, so that
Okay.
they can sign up for the classes that you really want to teach for those
Okay.
three. Yeah. So if
Okay.
you use it like that, I'm depending on Sharonda and Nawili, and those are the two that I know that really is into
Yeah. Getting
line
out there.
dancing, or
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
hustle.
I need to do some line dance. I need to do something.
There's one
Um.
girl, she teaches she gets hired out for the hustle dances and stuff.
Okay.
And she has her own sound system, like DJ, so she's playing her songs.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, let's start our morning off with
yeah.
from the secret manifestation cards. So I pulled two today,
Mhm.
and the first one is gratitude is the great multiplier. Set the universe Set the universe forces in your favor for tomorrow. Tonight, before you fall asleep, go back over your whole day in your mind and replay each good moment, feeling genuine gratitude for each one. This practice ensures the universe will make your tomorrow a day filled with good moments and plenty to be grateful for.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one is appreciation strengthens relationships.
Mhm.
For a difficult relationship to become great, we have to put our focus on what we appreciate about the other person. Okay, thank you. I need that today. When we complain about a relationship, we only attract more things to complain about. Okay, all universe, all
So that's
today.
the answer to your day.
Yes, yes. For the next 28 days, write down all the things that you appreciate about that person, adding more things to the list each day, and you will see how appreciation can turn your relationship around. I am going to leave this up here with my notepad.
You know what would be a good idea is for each of us, Elizabeth, do a 30-second appreciation. I appreciate the Grand Rising Elizabeth show because
Okay.
and put that out there. And then we just let Danielle do it, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and she just put the information down here, and all you see is I appreciate the appreciation for the show.
Okay.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, when we're talking about appreciation for a friend, I want to appreciate my friend Deborah Love
Mm-hmm.
because I get a text. Well, it was a group text, and she's purging. She got her kitchen remodeled, and that guy did a really good job. Really
Mm-hmm.
good job. I really like what what he did there. It's really nice. And
Okay.
um um but she's purging, so she's got several little crock pots. Well, she got two that she knows of. She said I may have three or four, I don't know. So she had to go through all this stuff, so she posted them in the group chat. On She texted us, and I said I'll take the two crock pots, the little ones, and one is for me and one will be for the makerspace.
Mm-hmm.
And also she has a couple of blenders. She has like so I want the little chopper, the little blender for the house. So yeah, I want to appreciate her for purging herself. And she says she knows she has those digital photo album frames. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so today, I said, "Oh goodness, what am I going to do today?" And what came across my feed as I was clicking out of listening to A Course in Miracles was this 75-year-old woman
Mm-hmm.
who built a container home over in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, let's look at
Mm-hmm.
that because I
Mm-hmm.
want to see what she's done. I want to see what she's done." So yeah. So here we go. Share my screen, and we're gonna go to here because I got it all queued up, y'all. You see that? I got it all queued up.
Gone, gone, girl.
All right. So here we go. That's I'm gonna hit that because that'll put us to the next one. What's happening? No, we're not drawing anything. We're not doing. Why is that there?
Where's what?
It's just a building.
Okay, here we go.
But when you put your love, time, and sweat in it, you make it a home. And that's
Oh,
I mean,
wait a minute.
visiting another container house, which started out as a tiny house, but ended up being a massive house, one that can accommodate up to 10 people because it's a 5-bedroom house made out of only two 40-feet containers. You'll not believe me until I show you. And the catch is, it has been built by a 75 young woman. So, of course, I love flowers. So I have to have flowers around me. And I like a port. even though here in Nyahururu it's colder than in other parts of Kenya, and people don't sit out as much, it's just a part of who I am to have a porch and a place. So this is my front porch. The containers stop here, and I had them give me 6 more feet here and put pillars so that I can create a front porch. Yeah. So this is it. I raised a kid here. Well, I raised 3 3 African students here. And one day I came across this story, and I told the son that I raised here, he was from South Sudan. I said, I want you to hear this story, and then I want you to draw it for me. And what this does, it's a story about an Indian man who would have to carry water from the river to his owner's house. And one day, one of the pots he had cracked, but yet it wasn't completely cracked, but it was leaking. And so every time he would go to get the water, as he's going back, the water is leaking out. And so, I mean, it's kind of a fable, yeah. But it says that one day the cracked pot said to him, I'm so sorry that I lose so much water. So by the time you get back to the house, I'm not full like the other container. And so when they were going back to the river the next day, he told the cracked pot, he said, do you notice that on the side where I bring you, that there are flowers? And the cracked pot said, no. He said, because I knew you were dropping water, I planted seeds along the way. So even though you're leaking water, you have given us a beautiful pathway. And so the story just says that there are cracked pots in all of us, but there's still some usefulness to God when he uses those cracks that we have. And it's just been an inspirational story for me to just remind all of us. All of us have some kind of faults or some kind of deficiencies, or we feel like we're not like everybody else, but God uses those things. And I want anybody who comes through this house to know I'm not expecting perfection because I'm not perfect, but God can still use us. Yeah. When I put this thing together, I had this big door here, and I decided, this door is so big because it was from here to here, because I didn't know what I was going to take and need. So one day I was in a store and I saw these glasses. I said, wow, that would be perfect. It'll give me some light, but I can make it smaller. So I had this metal door. I'm like, but it's so plain and so ugly. And I'm walking by this place and I see these things that they use for, I guess, for grills or something. I said, oh, we can make a design for this door and make it beautiful. So that's what this is. It's 3 of those things nailed together or welded together. Yeah. So welcome to my home. That side is a container and this side is a container. And then this space in the middle is about 12 feet wide, 12 feet wide. Okay. So when you come in, the general bathroom for any and everybody is this one. We just did dry, what do you call it? Plywood, yeah, and put some tile on it. And then this was going to be a part of this bedroom and the door was going to be here, but it didn't quite work out. So we just put that little indentation there. So this is the smallest of my bedrooms here. That's that. Then I have the fireplace. I said I must have a fireplace. Even if it was the tiniest of house, I had to have a fireplace. Absolutely. We will use it tonight. Absolutely. And then I knew that I didn't want to have a lot of furniture. So I wanted to kind of build into the rooms, the things that I needed. And so this was a part of my original idea that I would have an inset in the wall where the fireplace is so that I could display my pictures. So it worked out. I was able to explain to the Fundi and he did it. this is where we keep the firewood for the fireplace under that. And then behind the fireplace, because I work for the school and I'm kind of like the keeper of the goods. So I needed a place for like the graduation gowns, the costumes, stuff like that. So behind the fireplace is the storage room. I want to put a door here that is like a saloon door that swings back and forth, but that's to come. So this is the storage area, and it is full to the brim, okay, with Christmas as well as the graduation gowns, the costumes for plays, and some of the things we need for home science and the ballet dancers and all of that equipment is here. Okay. This is the space where the pictures are. Okay. And then this is my little laundry area for ironing and all of that. This is the guest room where Grace is sleeping, and she has her own bathroom and private shower. I still don't have a door here yet, but eventually there will be one. Okay. But I try to make it as convenient for somebody. You have your mirror there, all that, right? So now you see I have a lot of paintings in my house, and that's because we focus on art a lot at our school, and we have some really talented kids. The kids, well, the art teacher now was one of our students, and much of the work at my house was done by either him or another art student or several art students. So this was done by one. This is my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. It's like a skyline from that. But the artwork on both sides, behind you, I love flowers, as you know. So I thought my dining room should have that flower thing there. And in case people don't know, these are acrylic mirrors, that are in the form of a tree. So I did that. And let's see, so this container is the one for this side of the house. And so I have my kitchen here. The kitchen will eventually be, what do you call it? Yeah, I'll have walls, I'll have, studs and what do you call it here? Gypsum walls, and then cabinetry in here, but that's the last thing that I'll do. Right now, I just brought in whatever I had in the rental house. Everything in here is, it's movable. Everything in here is movable. So we just put it in, and I had the faucet installed. I do have hot water. I bought a hot water tank, and so I have hot water that comes to the kitchen sink. So this is my pantry, right on there. So since everything in here is portable, I had to have some place to store stuff, okay? And then this is my own little pathway to my bedroom. But I have to explain, containers are 8 by 40. So when I was adding this room on, the guy said, well, Doris, since we have to cut out this side of the container, if you want, I can move it over 2 feet and your rooms can be more standardized size. So that's what they did. And that's why it looks like this, is because we added 2 feet for each of the containers. So that cut down on the space that I had in the middle. So it gave me a private little walkway to my bedroom. So, and this is the master bedroom. And those are my little girls. Okay. And I wallpapered part of it, and the wallpaper that you see in my house was a gift from a friend. She was closing down her business in Kitengela, and she said, Doris, I have wallpaper in my garage. Just come and get it. So I was blessed with that. So this is my bathroom, which has not been finished yet. I don't have a shower here, but I do have the toilets and the the sink. But this, I'm also thinking of leaving it more original, just so that people know it's a container and I'm living in a container and it's okay. But for now, that's what that is. Okay, so when we come through there, then I can come back into the living room and this is what you see here. Now, let me take you upstairs. Because most people, you have an upstairs? I'm like, yeah, where? I said, I just cut off part of the I call this the foyer, okay? And I put 2.5 feet here of stairway to go up. So welcome to the upstairs. So this is the room that I added at the last minute, is a bedroom, another bedroom, which is over the living room, okay? So that was kind of an afterthought. But this one was already here. My plan is to have my own office upstairs. And I just recently put a bed in here. Normally it would be a little sofa, but because I'm thinking about doing some writing, I just thought, let me do like I did when I was working on my PhD, be right in the room where I'm writing. When I get tired, I sleep. When I get up, I can be writing. So that's what I've done here. And these are pictures of my mother and my dad, my elder brother. Imagine that's me when I was 16. Oh. Okay, and then this is the hallway. I haven't finished the flooring, and I've only got one side wallpaper, but the other side, I have the wallpaper for it. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And this is the one the wallpaper? Yeah.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
DIY?
Yeah.
What did you DIY?
Totally.
Oh,
Totally.
nice.
And in fact, just 2 weeks ago, I got what do you call those, scaffolding to finish this side. Because I could not reach this side, for all these years. And I was at Jama one day and I saw these guys on these big things painting. And I said, who owns these? And the lady told me who I could talk to, and they let me borrow their scaffolding. And I just finished that. So I still have to put the framing and the window for that bedroom. But I call this my reading loft. It's not quite equipped the way I wanted, but I did just put an extra bed here so that when I have extra guests, there's some place else somebody can sleep. But it'll be more, a lot of the books that are in my office, I'm going to bring on this side, just so that I have more space over there for writing and work like that. But yeah.
What else have you DIY?
Well, I try to use, fundies and people that are around. So there's some things I could do myself, but I let them do it. I know how to upholster, furniture, but at 75, I just didn't, you really don't have to prove anything anymore. So I let them do that for me. So yeah, so all of the furniture that you saw in the kitchen, I designed it, and then I just told them what to do. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Most impressed by? What's your favorite room?
Right now, my favorite room is the office because the coziness of it. And I really started out as a tiny house. So that kind of just gives me the feel of closeness that I want. I can put the space heater in there and I am totally warm. So that's kind of my favorite, but I love my patio where we'll go now. Okay. I love my patio. It just makes me feel more like I'm at home in Georgia, just being outside. And we are fortunate here in Nyahururu that the mosquitoes are not that bad. And as far as transporting malaria, we do have mosquitoes, but you can sit outside, for the longest and not be eaten up. So I added a laundry room on this side. It's part of that container, and I just put a wall in there so that I could do that. And then, as I told you, just recently added this patio. And eventually, That would be a fireplace and grill and a little, I would say wet bar, or at least a beverage area out here. Yeah. So let's see the SQ. So this is my storage room, and there's a complete bath and shower on this end back here for the person who has to stay in my small room out here. I really like this side of the house too. I want whoever has to stay here to at least have a space where they feel comfortable, and it can be private if they want. I do need to go on and put a clothesline out here and cover it, just because sometimes when my dryer is not working, you can hang clothes. But for now, because of my garden fencing around it, we can hang our clothes out there. Yeah. So I added this on. This was part of my porch, my front porch, but now it's a room for somebody who needs to sleep, and I have cabinetry here so they can hang their clothes or whatever. Yeah. So, and they say it's not that cold. So, yeah, I usually have somebody here about every other week, if not, during the week. Just someone who either is passing through and just need to stop. And because we're ladies to live in my house, I tell the men, my house is a ladies' house. So if you need to stay overnight, it's gonna be outside. Be outside. So, but this is, yeah, this is what God did. And it's marvelous in my sight. This was something from one of our Christmas plays, so it stays at my house. But I think they need to also see that I hear my daughter, "You're home. Hey." So this is the lady you all need to meet. Okay. Yes, tell him what I said. Okay. So so we even have place for people to but come see my these are my babies. These are my guard dogs, my watchmen, and the smallest one makes the most noise. Missy, it's okay, little girl. Now she can be beautiful white, but she likes to dig under the house. See, look, I mean, they're making the holes there. So I just don't wash her as often now. Yeah. But when I lived in West Africa, we ate potato leaves all the time. So when I found out I can grow potato leaves here, most of my shamba is potato leaves. So potatoes, but I bring seeds from the US, and I do the pyramid farming. And so all of my veggies, not all, but most of them come from here. Yeah. I have the bananas, and this is my second harvest of the bananas. I have orange, I have lemon, I have pomegranate, and then I have another orange there. Yes. I'm talking to someone now about avocado. Yeah. So, hey, Missy, pretty girl, please. So yeah, this is the Lord's doing, and the first thing I did before the container came was to build this garden. And I just recently gave them part of it so that they're not running everywhere. They used to be free to go all the way around. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Oh, they're so jealous. You know what? They are so jealous. Missy, quiet. Hi. Come here, mister. I said, mister. Come on. It's mister's turn. Hi, baby. Hi, mister. Hello, baby. Hi. Okay, we'll go see my gate. Yeah, so my plan here is I want this bougainvillea to be completely packed and making a big arch here. So that it could be a photo center. You know, funny thing is, I've had people to actually come and lay down here so they could. That was funny. So, Gauja is my surname. It's my husband's name, who's West African, but it's our family name. So I wanted it to be, yeah. So that's what that is. And then on that side, to God be the glory, because He's the one that made it possible. And I give Him all the honor and the glory for it. So, yeah. Oh, who am I? Hey, I am Doris Ellen Gauja. Ellen is my mother's name. I am her first daughter. So she named me after herself, but she gave me another name first. I grew up in Mississippi, a southern state in the United States. But then later my mother married and we moved west to Los Angeles. And so I actually grew up from elementary school in Los Angeles, California. And always, well, I wouldn't say always. In the 7th grade is when I took an interest in Africa. And I just said that one day, I must see this place called Kilimanjaro. It sounded so exotic. And I was like, I must go there. I must go there. And then from 7th grade, 8th grade, we had to choose a language. So I chose French. First, I chose French, and then Spanish. And then all the way through high school, I did 2 languages. And I envisioned myself being a diplomatic interpreter. But then I became born again when I was 13. And my interest in the things of God really grew to the point that I would sneak into my parents' bedroom when my dad was not home. He was a minister. He would have biblical books, and I would sneak in there and read them. And then I started listening to Christian radio. And the Christian radio talked about people in other countries. So it just expanded my little brain that there are other people, other worlds, and I just wanted to know about them. And so with this guy tweaking my interest in Africa, yes, it just became something I wanted, is to go to Africa one day and to see this place. Long story short, I really committed my life to Christ throughout my teenage years. And by 17, missionaries had come to our church, and God just started to tug on my heart. But I had become very involved in political things as a high school teenager. And I decided to major in political science in college. But while in my first year, it dawned on me that I really didn't know much about my faith. And I thought, wow, I'm in this institution of higher learning, but I say I'm a Christian, and I don't really know my own faith that much that I could defend it or even talk about it to people. So I was challenged my first year because one psychology professor said, if you are a Christian, you will not be a Christian when you leave my class. So I was like, no, that can't be. I love Jesus. I want to know more about him. That year, I came home on Christmas break, attended a revival, and I really rededicated my life to Christ. So I asked God at that time, help me choose the right career for my life. that was going to honor you and do what he wanted me to do. Long story short, I learned of an organization, became a student of that organization. I left university to pursue becoming a missionary. I am first and foremost a believer, yes, in Jesus Christ. And I am a person who knows that my purpose in life is to make Jesus Christ known, yes, through various means. I believe that he uses my talent, he uses my education, which he allowed me to have. He uses me to expand the kingdom and to live out the kingdom while sharing it. So that's why I'm here in Kenya. Yes. I was, after becoming a missionary candidate at a missionary training school, I chose West Africa because I believe that ancestrally my roots are somewhere in West Africa. So I became a missionary in my young 20s, in my 20s, and I was in Sierra Leone, West Africa. But I always heard about Kenya, and a lot of the religious material that we used in Sierra Leone came from Kenya. So in the back of my mind, I always wanted to come to see what East Africa was like, not knowing that, God's ultimate plan would have me here. So years later, after marrying a West African, having a child, raising my kid in the US, the Lord just kind of let me know that he wasn't finished with me on the continent. And the opportunity to come here was through a very close friend of mine. We both were involved in missions, but she asked me if I would come and help her do a seminar at this place in Kenya. So that's how I got to know Pace Ministries and Pastor Washira Gamal and his wife, Glenda. And so I'm in Kenya because of their ministry. Their ministry sponsors and supports education at various levels over the 35 years, now going on 36 years that their ministry has been established here in Nyahururu. They have done vocational education, they've done community education, training people in poultry development, in farming, animal protection and stuff like that, and traditional education, nursery school, primary school, and now the JSS and high school. And then there was a time for about 10 years we had a Bible school. I was invited to come and teach in their Bible school. And I did that for over 10 years. But my passion has always been open. So after serving the organization as here you call it a lecturer. Yes. I don't particularly care for that term because that's not the modus of education that I use. Yes. And having done that for quite a while, I was invited to be a part of the administrative staff. So from administration to what I'm doing now is still administration, but I'm also serving as the academic dean for the 3 schools that we have, primary, junior secondary, and high school. So that's why I'm here. But in 2010, I went to visit some missionary friends of mine who lived in Rongai. And on their compound, there was this container, a 20-foot one, that they had turned into a children's playhouse because they had a lot of kids. And they had it up on stilts, So they had like their first floor, their ground floor play area. And then when they wanted to go upstairs, they had this container upstairs. And another friend who was renting part of a house, I mean, an apartment within their compound, she and I was talking one day, and she said, my ministry takes me to Kenya, Tanzania, and Malawi, and one other country. And she said, my goal is to build a container house, have it on wheels, so that when I'm working in Kenya, I'm in my own house. Then we take it down to Malawi. I'm like, wow, that's a thought. And then I kind of lost contact with her. She went back to the States, but the thought never left me. And so from 2010, I've been just looking online and on the internet here and there at container houses or people who are building, tiny homes from containers. It tweaked my interest more when I realized that here in Nyahururu, the homes are built with stone and cement. And inside the home, there's this fuzzy stuff on the wall that I have to clean, and it would be irritating to me. I didn't understand what it was for a long time, but over time I came to realize that there's moisture still in the wall, and then there's mold. I'm like, oh my goodness. So if I build a house here, I need something that is different from that. Because I don't want to build something that is going to create mold and make my allergies worse. How was the building process for you? What was unique for me, I think, because I don't know what other people who have built containers go through. But I felt that it seemed like nobody around here was doing anything but stone houses. And I was eager to find how, if I was to build something differently, how would I even go about it? Since I don't even know, but I knew I didn't want that. So I came across cubes and containers online. I'm like, cubes and containers, look at those, look what they're doing. And that must have been like in, I think 2020, no, 2019. When did you start? 2018. I think it was around, it was before COVID. Yeah. I called you from Nairobi once I got there, and you told me how to get to Timau, whatever that place was called. And then you walked me through, walking down to where you were. And I was just delighted. And then to meet you, yes, a young person, like, this girl is in her 20s. I was 24. And she's so focused, and she knows what she's doing too. I was overwhelmed with joy that you were doing that. Yeah. And that just made me start investigating more and more. So after you got the container, I know we didn't build the home for you. This you built by yourself. How was the process? How was the journey, considering you were dealing with the local fundies? Oh, how was it?
Okay. I stood in my kitchen, clutching my coffee mug so tightly I thought it might shatter in my hand.
Nope.
Across from me sat my daughter, glowing in her white dress, her cheeks still flushed from the wedding 2 days ago.
Goodness.
Her new husband, Brian, sat beside her, one arm casually draped over the back of her chair, his smile too wide, too perfect. And then he slid the...
Okay. I'm gonna go on and talk anyway. That was nice. Oh, you're on mute, Queen.
So that's a badass sister.
Definitely. That was my first time watching it. I started and I said, ooh, Ooh, as soon as she started talking, I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. So she doesn't have to worry about the mold because, the contain. I said, wow, that is, yeah, it looks like an African home, with the eclectic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like the luxury container homes here, that are, but it feels
It's
very,
totally her personality and very functional for her,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow, and the artwork of the kids, that's really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, via looking at videos, I have seen some fantastic artists, young artists from Africa and the countries, just whoo, young artists that take hours and hours and like just beautiful painting that looks like photographs. That's the ones I like, the ones that look like a photograph that is
Mhm.
so real. Yeah, wow. Wow. Okay, Queen. So on that note, I wanted to ask you, how's the bathroom coming?
Actually, my next thing is the floor, is painting the floor, and I have to wait until they're not going to be using that bathroom downstairs.
Okay.
And because it has to be, you don't walk on it once we do it.
How long does it take to dry? How long does it take?
I don't know, but I do want it at least, like 12 hours or more with nothing happening.
Right, right.
For those who, I've been remodeling the the bathroom at the shop, and so it's time for me to do the floor, and I'm going to paint the floor. And my thing is that the only paint that I saw that color wise is black. So my floor is going to be black. So I have to light it up. So I'm going to use some lights that go down the wall and around the basin, around the floor there.
Hmm.
That's always on. So when you walk in and the floor is going to be kicking butt. It's my art piece. I'm gonna have a big gallery show, and everybody gonna come in. They're gonna be looking around like, so where's the thing? And I said, in the bathroom. In the bathroom. You gotta go in the bathroom. That's where the art show is. But I'm really enjoying myself. So, I'm just taking my time because I still have to do something on the door. I had to paint the door, and just deciding what do I want to put on there. Same with my living room here. I have this. I took everything off of this piece. See if I can show y'all that.
The purple and red.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, I see it.
anyway, I just haven't decided what I want to put on there yet.
Okay.
So I'm just letting it come to me.
Okay.
I may have an idea. Anyway, just a lot of work.
Grand
A lot of
Rising
work.
Stacy and Calvin and Star and
That's
55.
Alita. 5555 is Alita.
Okay, hello y'all. I hope y'all got to see that video about the lady over in, there's a part of Africa that's kind of chilly where where you have to burn a fire and yeah,
Right. And they were sitting there in the blankets and stuff.
yeah, she and her cozy. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
at it again and write down where that is and just see where on the map that is.
Mm-hmm.
That
So it
is.
looks like she just kept adding more stuff, adding more of those, what do you call those things? The containers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What if you from your house um added the containers, where you don't have to go outside to go into the container part, it just become an extension?
Yeah, you can do that.
That would be cool.
Well, I got to Lolly. I'm trying to get in touch with her. Lati. I'm sorry, Lati. I get him. It was Lati and it's Lati.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're like I said, they're just placed, and maybe I'll go back and look for her flyer, but it's off of 75. If you come up like you're going to Hamtramck, but you head towards the Detroit, it's a street, and they have gardens there, and they remodeled this house, and whoever remodeled this house, they did also did a fantastic job. It is,
Okay.
you know, I don't know if you. I know I grew up with the 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 guy who like jerry rigged his house. Who did what he could, but kind of used kind of weird materials, and you're like, okay, use like duct tape for, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But when it's quality and when they put in the work and built it from the studs out and really made it nice. So I like this house. It's really nice. It's small, but it's really nice. And it looks like what their plan was, from what I remember, is they've got a container in the back, and they're gonna open up the back that would have been the kitchen. They're gonna open it up into the container part. They're gonna attach it onto the house there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was told they were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the bathroom, that ground floor bathroom, is really nice. And I say in small houses, I just don't like swinging doors. But and so what they did was they put the barn door,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really nice. Yeah, and
The doors that slide open like that.
yeah,
Yeah, I like those. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
really, really nice. So yeah, that's what I would like to do over there at the my property over there is yeah, take that door out that off that bedroom, because there is plenty of room to do a barn door in that in there. Plenty of room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 So anybody got anything that they planning this weekend? Oh, remember on the 12th, if you know anybody, we put the information in the chat about your electric bills and mental health and physical health going over there at Avalon Village from 12 to 3, and I will be there at 11. I'm the early bird that catches the worm.
That's right. That's right. It's the early bird catches the worm. I want to also remind you all, I will send you another text that this Sunday, it is Jazzy Arts Sundays with Queen Aduni, and there'll be entertainment, and it's at my shop. Will probably be inside this time, and it is hosted by Grand Rising Elizabeth. It is our show. Um, so if it 50% rain, we'll determine the day before what the weather is going to be like, but we can't have speakers out and all that stuff and it rains. So we will probably do the first one inside. And I have a couple of tents that right outside in the back. Then I can have where we can still be outside, but under a tent. You don't have to walk across the street and stuff. So that'll probably be how we would do it. So I'm still looking for a food vendor, and I have one vendor that's already paid, and that's the other thing that I have to be sensitive of, because if I have a lot of vendors and we're not outside, then that's going to affect.
The space.
So I always have to, but I always tell people when they talk about the different things that they're going to do, that it's always dependent on the weather, as far as and just staying connected about what's being done, what we're going to do. So a lot of people I mean, I'm getting a very good response from it. They like the art. They really like the art. And generally that's when they bring up somebody, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring so and so because she loves doing art. So that's a piece that and when you hear the music, Philip's music, along with that creative mode, because that Life on Earth music is like that. It makes you just be creative, just creative. So that energy is going to be delicious, shall I say. Real chilled out, but hyped. And I want you all to come and let me know if you want to do any kind of vending and stuff. It's that's for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yep. I will it's gonna be a nice day today. I'll get out in the garage and well no, Sheena wants me to go to the grocery store. Oh, don't want to go to the grocery store. I really don't want to go. I like ordering online and picking it up. That's really what I like doing. Yeah. The challenge we're having is, she comes up with dishes and it has meat in it. And it's like, I want meatless, meatless dishes, please. Thank you. Yeah.
You
Oh,
put the meat on the side or either do a substitute. So you got mushrooms, oysters,
Yeah,
or
that's what I was
oyster
thinking.
mushrooms,
yeah.
eggplant, jackfruit. Even though I don't really know how to cook the jackfruit, but those are some substitutes.
Yeah, I've tasted where they because when they go to the festival up at Idlewild, the Petty Populous festival music festival up there.
Mhm.
She has vegan chefs up there, and I have tasted like the mushrooms that taste like fish. They make it taste like fish. It was really.
Mhm.
And Sheena and I, we went to get RJ's permit to work. And that was yeah. And then I said, oh, we over here by the co-op. We're gonna get a couple of watermelons. I spent 20, I spent almost $30 for two watermelons.
Mhm.
They were huge. And I cut them up and I have a whole shelf in the refrigerator full
The
of
watermelon.
still got to cut up the other one. That's what I had for breakfast was watermelon.
Yeah.
And went in there, and they had guys, they had my bars.
Mhm.
It was a little more expensive than Walmart and whatever, but still they had my bars. I like dark chocolate, and these are
Okay.
really good. This is almond butter in here. And what I had last night was it had like a raspberry filling in there because raspberries are good for you. So yeah, almond butter. This has quinoa, puffed quinoa, and dark chocolate. And when it's 70% dark chocolate, that's when it's beneficial for you. So that's what I'm going by. I'll stick to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like human, get back to human. Yeah. So they're really good. They're really good.
I see your flyer there. That's
Yes.
tomorrow. That's
That's
tomorrow.
today.
That's today
Today is
at
the 10th.
Crowell. Last year, this is Jazz in the Park, and I think it's another list. I'll try to find it, but this one is today, Jazz in the Park, 5 to 7 at Crowell.
It's 10:02. You know what to do.
Yes, yes. Thank y'all all for coming and for listening to that video. I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
information. So we're gonna give ourselves a hug today. Mm, mm, and we're gonna hug the world. Yes, and we're gonna sprinkle all the love into all these places. Yes, yes. God bless everybody. God bless everybody.
Everybody he got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole wide world.
Are we meeting at 11? I mean at 10?
I'm prepared. I had not did a particular thing. Let me stop the show here,
Okay.
the recording.